I'm sure that many of you out there are Ben Hogan fans. I know that I am. He's one of the greatest ball strikers to ever play the game, and he had a lot of things that he did that were revolutionary and that were many years ahead of his time. I'm sure that you've heard the swing secrets that he has, these keys that you can apply to your game that are going to fix your game forever. You've probably heard that you need to cup your left wrist at the top of the swing. That was one of Hogan's famous moves that helped him to play so much better than everyone else. The truth is, when you cup your left wrist, you're actually opening the club face. So if you're already hitting a slice and you cup your left wrist, it's only going to make matters worse. It's going to make your slice even bigger. Now, Hogan tended to hook the ball and hooked it a little too much early in his career, and by cupping the left wrist, that was one thing he did to compensate for his hook and help straighten out his ball flight. One of the other secrets that you may have heard is to kick your right knee in as you start your downswing, just as Hogan did, and get a lot of lateral shift in the downswing. Now, this can put a lot of wear and tear on your left hip. If your left hip slides too far forward and past neutral joint alignment, now we're going to put a lot of strain on this hip, and it can get really sore and injured over time. It can also cause you to lean back with your upper body and get too much axis tilt away from the ball, which can give you a lot of lower back pain. So if your left hip or your lower back hurts in your golf swing or after a round of golf, it very well could be that you're shifting too far forward with your lower body. Now, I think we all know that there's no secret move that we can apply to our game that's just going to fix everything for us and we're going to start playing fantastic golf. I've never heard of anybody that was a 20 handicap that found out the one little secret move and it catapulted them onto the PGA Tour. You'll never hear that. That's just not how it works. It's about building an entire swing that's fundamentally solid, that's going to allow us to play well day in and day out. Now, that said, I do think that Hogan had some secret keys that he used to become a much better golfer than most of his counterparts. One of these secret keys was eliminating one side of the golf course, and he practiced doing this on a daily basis, and I'm positive that's one of the things that helped him to become such a great golfer. I'm going to show you exactly how you can practice that on your own so that you can go out on the course, and if there's trouble on one side or the other, you can eliminate that side of the golf course and make it much easier to make pars and a lot of birdies. I'm also going to go over in this video how to tone down our shot shaping. So we talked about how to hit these big hooks and these big slices and to really learn how to manipulate your hands and body to get that ball moving. Now we're going to talk about how to tone that down so the shot can be a pretty straight shot and just fall to the left or to the right, and it's going to be much more consistent and much more effective when you're actually playing a round of golf. So if you want to learn how to incorporate one of Hogan's secrets into your game, you also want to learn how to tone down that fade or that slide, or that draw, I'm going to go over that in this next video. Okay, so now let's talk about how to tone down a hook. So in earlier videos, we talked about how we're going to swing our club out to the right to get that hook, to get the ball to start to the right, and then we're going to roll that club face to the left or close the club face in order to get some right to left spin on the ball and to get the ball to hook. And we talked about how to do this very severely, playing a 20 or 30 yard hook, and that's the proper way to learn that motion at first. You're going to need to learn to do it exaggerated and then tone it down. So this video is all talking about how we can tone this move down. And here's the drill that I've set up for you that's greatly going to help you to do this and practice this. Now, I've taken 2 alignment rods and I've bought some foam pool noodles like you'll get at Walmart or any local pool supply store. Very cheap. These are like $1.50 a piece. You just put those around there. You don't have to have these foam noodles, but it makes it a little bit easier because now it's thicker. And I've found that sometimes you can even miss this noodle to the left or the right without realizing it if you just have the rod up. So it's making it a little bit tougher by having the noodle around the rod there. So I've set this up to where if I hit a dead straight shot toward my eventual target in the distance, and I make a perfect swing, shot goes dead straight, I'm barely going to miss this left foam noodle. I've also put an alignment rod on the ground going parallel to the same position. So my feet, hips, and shoulders are going to be lined up if I'm hitting a dead straight shot toward the flag in the distance, and it's barely going to miss this left noodle. Now, what we're going to do here is that we're going to actually adjust our stance for the first time to start to tone down these shots. Now, in the past, I had you keep your stance square and manipulate just with your hands and arms and club to swing out to the right. And the reason that we don't want to do this, other than just learning the move, is that can get that club working too far in behind our body. So if I need to swing 20 yards out to the right, now this club's coming way from the inside, and I'm really going to have to flip those hands at the bottom. It's going to be tough to get that consistent over time. So what I want to do now is I want to line up my feet about 10 yards to the right. So this first shot I'm going to try to play about a 10-yard draw. I want to line up my feet, hips, and shoulders about 10 yards to the right and barely swing a little farther to the right of that. Now the reason that I'm doing this is your ball is actually going to start out about 85% of the direction that the club face is pointing. So if I want to play a 5-yard draw, that means that my club head is actually going to need to be moving about 10 or 12 yards to the right of the target to get it to do this. So again, I don't want to have to swing 10 or 12 yards to the right in relationship to my body. I'm going to go ahead and line up my feet about 10 yards to the right, and then I'll barely have to swing inside out or a little bit to the right with the plane of my club coming through impact, and then just close the face a little bit. So for this first shot, I'm going to start about 4 or 5 feet behind these foam noodles, and I'm going to hit 5 shots. I'm going to try to start them all out about.
Now it's time to take action. Don't let another year pass and still be frustrated with your golf game. This is your year to beat all of your friends. Go to the description below and click the link to sign up for your free membership. It will never cost you a dime, and you'll receive over 2.5 hours of detailed, eye-opening video lessons. Plus, you will be able to see the remainder of this video, only available if you click the link on this particular video. Be the first of your friends to join our 40,000 plus free members. We look forward to having you on our team.